So we're going to start off this video by getting right to it. This video is called The Right Path. And you might think, what does that mean? How do I get there? What's considered right? What's considered wrong? How do I do it? I don't know. This regards to anything. So, biggest thing is I decided to make this video today and just jot things down. And what you need to understand is what it comes down to is we get motivated for a bunch of different reasons. But a main thing is we, in our minds every day, we have this set notion of a higher calling, vocation as some people call it, and that you have a bigger path, or you have a bigger dream or goal, or something you want to get to and you want to achieve. And you feel like you have a bigger purpose, and you're always on the hunt to get that. But as we go through the small things in life, everyday occurrences, knowledge, people we engage with, we end up relying and getting in a pattern. And we are creatures of habit. Once we start doing something, our brain understands that repetition and says, okay, I understand this, so I'm going to keep doing it. And that's something we do for the goodness, but also the not so good part of the daily facets of our life. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to get to the right path, things are going to feel awkward, things are going to suck, and you're not going to fully understand what the exact right path is. But we understand there's something that's got to get me there. There's a calling. I feel it, and I have to get there. And as you go through this journey, it's up and down and back and forth, and you're 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, you fall down a pit, all these things. And you're probably thinking right now, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? This sounds horrible. Like, what's the point? The point is, you're going to feel like this all the time. A lot of the time. And your brain's going to mess with you and say, today's not the day, bud. You have these plans. Sucks. You're going to get in that habit of, actually have time to enjoy what I do. And it's fuck off, do nothing, doom scroll, whatever it could be. And we can't do that. And I had the thought in my mind today, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's all it can take. 10 minutes a day, a week, a month, a year. You start off with 10 minutes, and that'll grow. That 10 minutes focuses on 3 things, and I wrote them down. The 3 things are time, action, and focus. What is something I've harped on in small videos, if you followed me so far, is ideas are great, and Steve Jobs said it. Ideas, whatever, I can't remember the quote, but ideas without action are just ideas. They end up being regrets. And that's just a fucking fact. If you don't commit action, no matter how small, how big the step is, nothing's getting done. That idea being stuck in your brain is analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, excuse me. And you're thinking so hard, it's got to be perfect. I could do this. Or maybe I could do this. But if I try to add that, you're already cooked, bro. You're cooked and toasted because you're thinking too much. You could have gotten so much done by just doing it. And maybe you fell flat on your face. So what? You learn. What we're focusing on is time, action, and focus. All right, 10 minutes. We got the time. And like I said, you might think 10 minutes is not enough for me to do something. I don't care about that. This could be the smallest thing in your mind. Say it takes 10 minutes to change your life. It could be. When people say when you meditate or you go in the sauna or something that's 10 minutes of just exact time, it could be a lifetime of who knows what. If you take 10 minutes and just think of nothing, if you meditate, you're a completely different person, right? Say you've never meditated in your life and you take 10 minutes and you actually do this and you think of nothing. You don't think about work. You don't think about someone who's been stressing you. You don't think about PTSD. You don't think about any external thing other than yourself, what you could possibly be or what you want to be. 10 minutes to visualize your future where you are pushing for the only goal that matters for you. 10 minutes of where it all works out. 10 minutes of you're working day and night hard as you can, and you're going to get these results. What does that life look like to you? Probably amazing. Probably something you don't understand because that's a whole nother different person you're recognizing. And that's a whole different lifestyle. That's something I have not touched. And then you think to yourself, am I able to get there through this lifestyle I'm living now? No, you're not. And so those 10 minutes, you're someone different. You've changed, essentially. There's a different person you're seeing in that 10 minutes of time. Now you think, how can I get there? And then the part that I'm talking about is focus. This takes complete focus. Now we talk about if we want to get something done, that has to be your one set passion, your goal. You have to focus simply on that. That's to talk about if you want to get something done, you spend these certain amount of hours and focus solely on that, and you'll understand how much you get. You cannot multitask. As much as we think we can, we get lost. You're barely staying above float where the others are fucking soaring to the moon because you're trying 8 different ideas. It doesn't work. And you're always going to think that's where the paralysis comes in. Maybe this is better. No, this. Because you're multitasking, your brain doesn't understand what the sole focus and the goal is. And this all goes together. The action is actually doing it. You don't say, when you have the motivation, that random motivation at 2 a.m. in the morning, you say, I'm going to wake up and do this routine, and I'm going to meditate and read a book, and then this. Sure, that sounds all gravy. Sounds perfect. But then you go to bed, and you wake up, and you're like, fuck. Now you have a cold. Oh, no. You got a text. You have to come in early to work. Fuck, man. That derailed my whole day. This is why 10 minutes is a great thing. 10 minutes of becoming what you want to be. Someone totally different. And it takes that action of fuck everything else, put it down, whatever you're doing, don't scroll for 10 minutes. Do this instead. Commit to an action that might make you uncomfortable, but just do it. Even if you hate it after, okay, you did it. And you get results off of that. But the idea of never knowing what you could possibly achieve and knowing you didn't give it your all or didn't even try, fuck, man. That hurts. Think about it now. I'm only not even 24 years old yet. And thinking about where I could be in certain spots or what it could be down the road, but knowing currently how I'm living, no shot to that right now. And that's not to get in a hole because we have plenty of time, right? We can adjust and learn. We learn every fucking day. So this is not a problem right now. What we're focusing on is what we can do, is commit action, set a certain amount of time, just 10 minutes by the way, and having complete focus. 10 minutes of focus can change your life. I guarantee it. And this isn't a blueprint of me giving you 8 different examples of how you can do that in those 10 minutes. But think of something you've been wanting to do, a main goal, another person you want to become, and that sounds like the biggest road you could ever try to walk down. And even try to take that first step outside the door and try to go towards. If you do it 10 minutes at a time, every week, day, month, whatever, you'll see how much you go to. And then you can think, this is all that matters. And something's going to click. You're going to get that breakthrough. You're going to understand, holy shit, it makes sense. What I was scared of before, I'm not right now. And then I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to go commit action right now and focus on this set thing. And then I'm good, boy. Then we're good. If you use these 10 minutes to actually think about something, commit to it, you can honestly change your life. And that's no joke. And I'm sure every one of us has it inside of us to make that change, that breakthrough of, all right, let's go. I want to take control of my life now. You can't control everything out here, but you can control a lot in here. And a lot of that's from experience, and you have to learn to cope with that. But you can't let these external forces fuck with your brain like that. If you're surrounding yourself with a person, for example, that just can never get a break, every day sucks, something's always bad happening, no fucking shit, you're going to think the same thing, right? That's all you know. That's your experience. Your brain starts to rationalize, this is it. This is the only concept I know. This is all I've experienced. How am I supposed to know there's rainbows in the world, there's sunshine, I can have success? If you haven't seen success in God knows how long, you need to think, because your brain has so much actions. The ideas your brain can have and the realizations based on not having that external experience, it's mind-boggling. The reason we get motivation when we think of these certain topics, or it's that certain jolt at 2 a.m., is because secretly deep down in our brain we know we want this more than anything. It's a passion we have. It's just we don't know how to get there. And we've cocooned ourselves in this life of comfortability, experiences, something that we know and we've grown accustomed to, and it's our habits. It's our lifestyle. And if you want something to actually be your lifestyle that is beyond your hopes and dreams, you got to start acting like it. You need to commit actions that will get you there to it. And even if it doesn't directly get you there, it can open the doorway. It can tell you, okay, that didn't work. Scratch. What's next on the list? And we're going to keep going down and figure out what clicks. 10 minutes is all we're asking. 10 minutes to actually do what you set out to do, something that's along your goals, and focus on it. And do action. Bye, everyone.